Good afternoon, Mrs. Spicer.
Good
Happy to have you
afternoon.
here.
Thank you.
What caused you to be interested in participating in a study on shingles?
We had recently moved to Maryland, and my previous physician sent me a postcard forgetting that I had moved, asking me if I would like to be in a shingle study. So I called back and said, sorry, I've moved to Maryland. And she said, oh, you should immediately get hold of NIH. And I did. And both my husband and I were in the study.
And you did get shingles, but you didn't have a typical case.
That's right.
Could you first describe your early symptoms?
The first symptom I had was pain in my right leg. And it sort of started in my upper leg, and it went in both directions. It went down and it went up. And I had been very active the day before and decided, oh, I bet I've pulled something. So I called my doctor, and she said, we better look into it, and made an arrangement for me to have an x-ray the next day. It was that severe. And I did not have the x-ray the next day because the next morning I had a rash on the instep of my foot. And with the shingle study, you are supposed to call them immediately if you have a rash. So I called them, and they made an appointment for me to come in to see the rash.
And when they saw the rash, what did they think?
It wasn't shingles.
They didn't think it was shingles?
No. But since I was there, and they had found another spot of rash that I did not know about on my upper buttocks, they decided they would do a scraping, which they did, and it was shingles.
How soon after the first symptoms did you get treatment?
The pain started on Wednesday. I called them on Thursday, and I came on Friday. And the question was whether I was going to be able to drive here because of the pain in my leg, whether it would be safe to do, and I did drive in. And they then gave me some pills, and I was much more comfortable driving home than I was driving to the NIH office.
So did the medicine help immediately?
Immediately. I took a pill, and they waited to see if I was going to have any allergic reaction, and I didn't. And then I took another pill. It was about 2 hours later, and then I started taking it on a regular hourly basis.
So how long after you started taking the medicine did your symptoms go away completely?
Completely. A couple days. That was all. I mean, I was quite amazed that by symptoms, I'm referring to pain. The rash stayed, didn't get any worse, but it stayed and went through, I guess, a shingle cycle. It was the little eruptions, and they oozed, and then they dried, and then they went away.
Was the pain that you experienced excruciating pain?
It was getting there. It was getting there. By Friday, it was very, very uncomfortable.
What was your perception of shingles growing up?
It was old lady's disease. It was sort of on that list of things you did not want to get. People had terrible eruptions and terrible scars afterwards. And I remember one woman who had it on her face, and she lost the sight in her eye.
You mentioned earlier that a family member had gotten shingles, your mother-in-law, I believe.
Yes.
Could you describe her experience with shingles?
I would say that on her back she did have the dinner plate size eruption, and it was extremely painful, her back. She could not recline on her back. She did not want anything touching it. I took an undershirt of my husband's, cut a hole in it so that she could receive guests. She was given calamine lotion to take care of the shingles, and they suggested also a salve that they looked like Vaseline.
So she had long-term effects, but you had no long-term effects at all?
None. Oh, no.
What would you say to someone who might think they have shingles? What would you tell them?
Immediately consult your doctor so that you can start treating it immediately and not with calamine lotion. That's great for other things, but you need to have today's treatment, today's medicines to take care of it immediately. It should not be something that is lingering and affects your lifestyle.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Spicer.
Thank you. Thank you.